Kara here from The Kara Golden Show. If you're not using Ironclad for contracts, you could be leaving millions on the table. Ironclad's AI instantly surfaces what matters: renewal dates, pricing terms, and obligations, so you can act quickly before opportunities slip away. That's why they're trusted by great brands like OpenAI, L'Oreal, Salesforce, and so many others. Find the savings hiding in your contracts at ironcladapp.com/podcast. That's ironcladapp.com/podcast.
Just last year, I was backpacking deep in the woods and I hadn't seen another human in almost a full day. It was just me. And I'm hiking along and I tripped over a root and fell flat, like hard. And I immediately jumped up, embarrassed, looking around. No one was there, obviously. There was no audience. It was just trees. And yet, somehow, I felt like the trees were laughing at me. And I think about that and it hits me. Why do we feel the need to look put together even when nobody's watching? And that moment in the woods taught me something, and I'm sharing that now. It's about leadership, and I'm still learning. And if you take yourself too seriously, if I take myself too seriously, we're going to miss who God is shaping us to be and who the people you lead need you to be. So, welcome back to Northbound, everybody. I'm your host, Chris. I'm glad you're here. Leadership requires humility, humor, and the courage to be real, especially when you trip, and you're going to trip, because tripping is part of the trail. The falling is not what disqualifies you, because all that does is proves you're moving forward. Trails have roots, they have rocks, uneven ground, and so does leadership. So leaders who never trip, well, what are they doing? They're standing still. So the problem isn't the falling, it's pretending that you never do. And we all get so caught up in that, don't we? So the leadership truth that I want to share and encourage you with is if you're walking forward, you're going to stumble, you're going to fall. And that's not failure, that's just momentum. And then the embarrassment, it just reveals who you're performing for. Why was I embarrassed when nobody was there? That moment exposes how deeply I even internalize my own performance. And even when I'm completely alone, I've been alone for like a day, I'm worried about my image. And so often, especially in the workplace, the leadership culture is going to reward polish over actual presence. In business and social media, we obsess over how we look instead of who we are. We post what we think will land instead of what's true, letting the world define what that leadership should even look like. And if you're leading for applause and recognition, you're already done. You're already exhausted. And I've gotten caught up in this. Even recently, I've gotten caught up in this obsession over how my business looks like, what it looks like online, or whether what I post about my business is going to take off or whether it's not. Trying to find what the world says is important. Taking myself, and my encouragement for you is taking yourself too seriously is going to make you fragile. Humor is strength. It's not weakness. And leaders who can't laugh at themselves are not going to grow, because we all have times where we got to laugh at ourselves. Ego will turn those mistakes into actual crisis, identity crisis. Humility, on the other hand, will turn those mistakes into lessons. So pride would say, I can't mess up. And maturity is going to say, I'm going to get back up. And here's a leadership truth today. Leaders people trust the most are the ones who don't pretend to be untouchable. Don't pretend to be something you're not. Don't pretend to be something that God didn't make you to be, who didn't create you to be. Your own image management is going to block formation. God works with honesty. He's not a brander. If you're curating yourself, you're resisting discipleship. God didn't just make you to perform leadership, He made you to live it. There's a great psalm, Psalm 139. It goes along with this so perfectly. The beginning of it says, "O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You understand my thought from afar. You scrutinize my path and my lying down, and are intimately acquainted with all my ways." Later in that same chapter, it says, "For you formed my inward parts. You wove me in my mother's womb. I will give thanks to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. He made you to be a leader and to live like a leader and to lead well. And you're going to stumble. You're going to trip. It's okay. Laugh it off. Let's move forward. In Proverbs, I think it's chapter 16, talks about pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before stumbling. It is better to be humble in spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Get up, laugh, keep walking. Courage is not about avoiding that fall, it's just continuing the journey after. And laughing is going to break that shame cycle. Don't worry about it. Laugh it off. Have self awareness. It's going to build your credibility. Authentic leaders are going to create safer teams. So don't rewrite the story. Don't hide the bruise. Just keep walking. It's going to be okay. If you're moving forward, you're going to trip. That's not failure. That's leadership. Embarrassment often reveals who you think you're performing for. And leaders who can laugh at themselves are going to grow faster, lead healthier teams. God shapes real people, not curated AI created images. So stop managing perception and start walking in purpose. Now, I do know the irony here and the fact that I do use a little bit of AI imaging for each of these podcast episodes. So, thinking about that right now. Okay, so here's a closing thought. That route in the trail didn't mean I shouldn't be out there. It meant I was on the path. That was exactly where I was supposed to be. And that was exactly where I wanted to be. Leadership is the same. You're going to trip. You're going to fall flat. Laugh, learn, get back up. Don't forget, even if the trees are laughing, God is still walking with you. Let's go northbound.